We love to celebrate democracy. We treat it as one of humanity's greatest achievements, something that proves we've moved beyond tyranny and oppression. It's common to see politicians visiting ancient ruins in Greece, posing in front of marble columns as symbols of freedom and equality. But what if I told you that one of ancient Greece's most respected minds was deeply skeptical of democracy itself? Today, let's explore why Socrates, the man often called the father of Western philosophy, warned us about the dangers of democracy and what those warnings might mean for us today. When people talk about ancient Athens, they usually highlight two of its most famous legacies: democracy and philosophy. It seems fitting, even poetic, that both came from the same city. But here's the uncomfortable truth: the philosophers themselves weren't so sure about the democracy they lived under. Plato, who was Socrates' student, wrote dialogues showing just how cautious his teacher was about letting every citizen vote. Socrates didn't oppose democracy because he wanted tyrants or kings. He wasn't calling for oppression. Instead, he believed Athenian democracy ignored something essential: that good decisions depend on wisdom, not popularity. Socrates argued that choosing leaders isn't like picking your favorite flavor of ice cream. It's not just a matter of preference. He famously compared it to choosing a captain for a sea voyage. If you were about to set sail across dangerous waters, who would you want at the helm? Anyone who happened to volunteer? Or someone trained in navigation who knows how to read the stars and handle storms? Of course, you'd choose the expert. For Socrates, voting worked the same way. It wasn't simply a right to be granted to everyone without preparation. It was a skill that required education. If people weren't taught to think carefully, question arguments, and understand consequences, then giving them a vote was like handing...
This wasn't just a theory for Socrates. He experienced its consequences firsthand. In 399 BCE, he was put on trial in Athens. The charges? Corrupting the youth and disrespecting the city's gods. His accusers played on fear and resentment, painting him as a dangerous influence. The jury wasn't made of trained judges or experts. It was 500 ordinary citizens who listened to passionate speeches designed to stir up anger and suspicion. Despite Socrates' defense, they voted to convict him by a slim margin. He was sentenced to death by drinking poison hemlock. For Socrates, this wasn't only a personal tragedy. It was a demonstration of democracy's failure when voters lacked education and critical thinking. The system that promised freedom and fairness killed a man for challenging popular ideas. Socrates used vivid comparisons to make his point.